Greetings, viewers, and welcome back. We're here in Microsoft Flight Simulator with, at the time of the release of this video, a newer DLC aircraft which was picked up in the marketplace in-game for $19.49. This is the Nemeth Designs Marchetti S205 18-R. The R model designates retractable landing gear, of course, and this plane sports, in this variant, a Lycoming 360-inch engine with 180 horsepower. It's a four-seater aircraft, and it is carbureted, so we're not working with turbocharging or supercharging today. But as you can see with the weather, we're going to keep the cruising altitude fairly low. Today, we are right outside of an Italian city called Padova, and we are at Lima, India, Papa Uniform. That's Padova Airport, and I figured what better day to take a flight than on a day with lightning and stormy clouds in a red, white, and green Italian-built aircraft. So we'll depart this airport. We'll also head east, basically, to the Adriatic Sea, where we'll turn left, and then we'll go check out the Venice City canals. Finally, we'll wind up on an approach to Lima, India, Papa Zulu, also known as Venice's Marco Polo Airport, where we'll come in and I'll give some final thoughts, and we'll take this video and bring it to an end. So with that in mind, how's about we head on inside and get this machine fired up? The first thing I'm going to do, of course, is activate these little switches here. Not switches, rather little flippers there to open up this air opening in the window so that we can get some fresh air in here. I'll go ahead and remove this yoke to make these buttons a little easier to press. We'll go ahead and flip over to the right-hand fuel tank. We are working with two full fuel loads today. Some of the variants of this aircraft did indeed have wingtip tanks, but that is not our variant today. That's okay. We still have full load in the left and right wing tanks. So let's go ahead and bring the battery up. And then I'll go ahead and reset our timer here. Start that up. Let us know how long we're out today for. So I'll go ahead and throw on some useful lights here. I'll also put on the navigation, the rotary lights, and the landing lights. Go ahead and take a gander outside and make sure there's nobody within striking range of the propeller while we go ahead and attempt to fire this machine up. I'll bring the propeller pitch to full forward. I'll give us some full mixture rich, and it would appear as though I will confirm, yes, magnetos are on both. And let's go ahead and flip the starter switch. And give us a little bit of booster pump, introduce the fuel. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull the propeller pitch back quite a bit, because I noticed with this aircraft, if you're full forward, it tends to want to accelerate on its own. So we'll just keep it there, and we have the RPM right around 1,000 there. Get these temperatures up in the greens. Of course, oil pressure's within green, so we're waiting for the temperature of the oil, the cylinder head temperature to come up, and we can also go ahead and verify at this time that our generator's on. And it is. Amp meter looks good. We do have two full fuel tanks, and we'll leave it at that for now. So while this machine is running up to temperatures here for operation, we are already in the on mode for the altimeter, so we'll just go ahead and leave it there. I'm going to program direct, and we're going to go to the airport just outside of Venice. So let's head to Lima, India, Papa Zulu. And we'll leave it there. Let's check our temperatures, of course. Get into the green arc. Cylinder head temperature's there. Oil temperature's almost there. Now we have, I believe, about a 10-knot wind today with minimal gusts. And I believe it's coming at approximately 220 degrees direction. So we're going to go ahead and take off from this airport's runway 22. We might as well announce that while we're at it.
Lima India Papa Uniform Traffic Romeo Echo Delta Golf Romeo November is taxiing to runway 22.
Alright, and from what I noticed in this aircraft, although this is my first time flying it, these temperatures do seem to function pretty well, so they are a pretty decent indication of what's going on with the operational status of the engine, and that's always nice to see. Of course, we also seemingly by our gauge can verify we have proper working gauges. The suction meter there in inches of mercury is within the green, so that's good. So we should be properly ready. Let's remove the park and brake there. And go ahead and taxi on our way out to the runway. I'm going to go ahead and close this port up and then try to remain silent, at least for the takeoff. That way you guys and gals as the viewers can hear these sounds. And we'll go ahead and do a magneto check on a run up here before we actually completely depart. And I may have gone one too far to the left with that, but that's okay. There's the drop we're looking for. So we may have only been running on the left mag for that run up and starting procedure, but that's okay. We're functioning in the green now. And you can definitely hear the engine feels a lot more healthy. So let's go ahead with that. And announce our takeoff.
Lima India Papa Uniform Traffic Romeo Echo Delta Golf Romeo November, taking off runway 22 East departure.
Throw in a notch of flaps. Put on our auxiliary fuel pump, and let's hit the skies. Nice and easy. We'll establish positive rate here as we are. Pull the gear up. Cruising out at approximately 90 knots there, steady. Let's go ahead and remove an extra layer of flaps here. Come back to clean flight. And head towards the east. Of course, I'd like to welcome everybody again for coming on out to watch this video. Thank you for spending time here watching this content. Hopefully you're enjoying it. And leave a like, leave a dislike. Let me know what you think in the comments, for better or worse. It's all positive as far as I'm concerned. It lets me know how the channel's doing, how the content is. Go ahead and bring back the RPM and the manifold pressure a bit here. Now this aircraft does have a relatively basic autopilot, but we're not going to be using it today. And just ahead of us off our nose out there is the beginnings of the Adriatic Sea, the coastline of Italy. Let's go ahead while we're at it and get some external shots of this. Of course, the Italian countryside is very nice. Plenty of mountains off in the distance there, slightly covered by the trees, also known on planet Earth as cloud formations. And just working out some trim adjustments here. This is pretty much hands-off flight. So even with these gusts and the lightning and the 10-knot winds approximate, this aircraft is definitely capable of level flight without an autopilot, that's for sure. It's nice to see. Go ahead and reprogram that in. Just to get a little bit more accurate idea of how far we are, 15.9 miles away. Of course, it's going to be off to our nose in the left. But before we reach that part, we're going to see the canals of Venice, and what by then we'll almost be ready for a downwind leg approach. Overall, I have to say I am enjoying my time here in this Marchetti. And I would say with a full fuel load in the left and the right wing tanks here, 130 knots indicated on the steam gauge there. Our primary 6-pack of instruments, that's a pretty reasonable speed to be cruising, for sure. We're at about 18 on the manifold pressure, pretty low, so I'm just cruising along here. Not really too much stress at all. Since there's quite a few cloud formations out there, I went ahead and left the landing lights on. Reason behind that is we're below 10,000 feet, so if there is anything else out here with us, hopefully they have a little bit easier time locating us. Just off our nose out there, across that small expanse of water, is the city of Venice, Italy. let's kick in the overdrive here and bring up our power just a bit. Let's see what kind of speed we can get out of this in a straight line at the moment. I'll go ahead and, although we're not very high, I'll adjust the mixture a little bit. And we're not high enough to benefit from any extra power. So right at our altitude here, we're basically at, this is full power, just under 25 on the manifold pressure gauge there. So like I said, we're not super turbocharged, so we're not going to get whole gobs of power here at our disposal. But for touring the countryside, this is a perfectly acceptable aircraft, of course, in my humble opinion. And as it were, I am definitely enjoying the textures. When you combine these seemingly PBR textures with the atmosphere and the lighting of this gloomy day with the clouds, it makes for a nicely lit environment, both inside and outside. And right there, straight ahead on the camera view, is our airport. That is Venice's Marco Polo. And I'll bring her down a little bit on the power, and we'll get a little closer to the city. Get a good view of what's going on down there. About 1,500 foot per minute dive. Way back on the power, maintaining around 150 knots airspeed. Not too bad, not too bad. You can see there's some cruise ships there in the little port. Oh, and a lightning strike. How timely. Interesting. Little caught off guard by that, but hey, that's what makes flying in this weather exciting. What's nice about this route is we're able to check out the city while lining up for a downwind on our runway here. Looks like we're going to fly right through water if that stays there, or maybe we'll just skirt it, but that's alright either way. Let's go ahead and call the tower here, let them know what we're up to. We will acknowledge that. We are already at 2992. At least we should be. Standard barometric pressure. And that is our destination right there. Of course, I would say clear as day, but we're not on that clear of a day, so I'll just go ahead and leave that one out. Sure thing.
Cleared to land runway 22 left Golf, Romeo, November.
Let's go ahead and remove some of this airspeed here. Get a little bit closer to deployable flap speeds here. Go ahead and put in a notch. Let's go ahead and grab another notch. 90 knots. We'll pull down the gear. And I have to say, for the weather, this machine is flying rather nicely. I'm impressed. I'm having to use minimal inputs to keep this machine on pace. Of course, we're reading a little high on the 4 approach bars there. We'll correct for that. And I'm just going to maintain my silence for this approach so that the viewers out there can experience the sounds once again, of course. Getting into them chops now. A lot of buffeting. Now we're back on proper descent angle, or we're at least pulling it in a little bit. Perfect. Flight idle. And the soft flare. And we're down. I did not even hear the wheels touch.
Golf Romeo November, turn next taxiway.
You got it. Let's go ahead and remove our boost pump for the fuel. Yeah, sure. If that's what you want, we'll do that. Ground handoff.
18.25 Golf, Romeo, November.
Okay, let's clean the aircraft up. We'll remove the flaps. And then we'll check here on our VFR map real quick what the taxiways look like. Just as it looks like we're getting some rain here on the windows. Right in the nick of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and taxi down 22 right here, because I am not sure if that taxiway is actually a thing to the right of this runway. We can try it. Nice bit of lightning there. So yeah, that's exactly what I suspected. That is not a taxiway. Looks like an access road for service vehicles or something, so we'll just come back over here and taxi as quickly as possible down 22 right. Does not look like we have any incoming traffic, and the skies were pretty clear, so we'll go ahead and make this quick. Yeah, this weather definitely looks like it's taken a hit for the worse, so it seems as though we've pulled into port here at just about the right time. Alright, we'll leave it right there for now. Bring everything offline. So let's go ahead and we'll remove our lights in the interior. Landing lights, navigational lights. Pull them off. We'll bring our engine back with the mixture. Remove all the magnetos. Go ahead and throw in our parking brake. And we'll close off our fuel valve here. Fantastic. With that, we'll remove the generator and the battery. And it says that we were in the air for about 25 minutes and 40 plus seconds. Not bad. So there you have it. Microsoft Flight Simulator, Nemeth Design, Marchetti S205 with the retracts, powered by the Loicoming with the 180 horse. And I like this aircraft. Hopefully you enjoyed the plane. Hopefully you enjoyed the flight. Hopefully you enjoyed the scenery. Thanks for joining again, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.